A reminder to you that ESPN FC is brought to you by Frito-Lay, and Harry Maguire is said to be considering his options after being informed he'll no longer be Manchester United captain. He tweeted after discussions with the manager today, he's informed me he's changing captain. He outlined his reasons to me, and whilst I'm personally extremely disappointed, I will continue to give my all every time I wear the shirt. There's a bit more of what he did say here. Obviously, it's been a tough few months for him. Would it be the best thing to just go now, Stevie?
I would think so. I mean, I don't understand how Harry himself can see a future on the field at Manchester United. And so, at his age, he surely has to want to play. And it surely shouldn't be about the money. So, this seems perfect to me. I think West Ham would be absolutely perfect for him. He can go there. He's not going to be under the same scrutiny. Yes, he's going to be in the Premier League. But, you know, Man United and West Ham are in different stratospheres when it comes to pressure. And so, for me, this is, if I'm Harry Maguire, this is an absolute no-brainer.
Is he saying what he has to here,
Yeah.
Shaka?
Yeah, no
Because
doubt.
he can't be surprised that this captaincy's not his anymore.
I don't think anybody's surprised. I think it's more surprising that he's still there, in all honesty. No, but to your question, Kate, that's exactly what any player would say in that situation. While he's still a Manchester United player, I'm going to give my all every time I pull on the shirt. And credit to him for that and for that attitude. But he will move on. I think it's in everybody's best interest. Manchester United's and Harry Maguire's and England's for that matter. As Steve says, moving to a club where he won't be under the same scrutiny, where he can regain confidence, where you're playing at a level where you can tolerate some of those mistakes, and you playing yourself back into the form that saw him move for 80 million. And I think West Ham is a good fit in that regard. You look at West Ham's centre-back pairings. You got Zuma and Aguerd, who are the preferred choices. You got Kera, who can fill in there, plus a couple others.
Avenging Angelo Ogbonna. I can't believe you don't mention him.
But how often did he start last season?
He's had his injuries,
Too often.
But so he fits in. You know, again, I think he fits in. Every time I've seen Aguerd play, just for starters, hasn't filled me with an awful amount of confidence. So I think he comes in. I think he can be a leader in that back four. And again, at a club and a fan base who will maybe tolerate some of the missteps as he progresses to back to his best.
What do you think all roads lead to West Ham for Maguire?
I mean, he'd have to take a pay cut in exchange for more years. I think if I'm West Ham, I sit tight and try to negotiate down the fee, because I do think actually, I mean, take Shaka's point, Aguerd had injuries, Ogbonna had injuries. They don't have that much depth. They could definitely use him, but it's also not a tragedy if he doesn't show up. It's not like West Ham are going to get relegated. I still think, and look, you guys are former pros. You know you're taught to think, right? I think Harry Maguire shows up at training and says, I'm a centre half. Who do I have? I have this undersized Lisandro Martinez who's coming off a terrible season-ending injury. I've got Rafael Varane, who's in his 30s now and has had a really poor injury record. I have Victor Lindelof. This is my competition. Surely your players, when you coach players, Stevie, you want them to back themselves and have that confidence. And it's not like he has Bruce and Pallister.
The problem is when something's staring you in the face, though, you have to eventually accept it.
That's the difficult
part. We all back ourselves, right? But at the end of the day, not only is he not getting a chance, anytime he did get an opportunity to step on the field, you had the whole crowd, every time the ball went near him, holding their breath. Now, I don't care how mentally strong you are, that affects everybody. And do you want to deal with that every time you step on the field? I mean, come on. You got to smell the roses eventually, and he has to do that, and he has to get back playing.
I couldn't agree more. I think last week I said, as footballers, we have a sometimes fatal personality flaw in that we back ourselves regardless. We just can't see around that. But to your question, Kay, do all roads lead to West Ham? I don't think so. I think all roads lead out of Manchester United to a club lower down in the league that will afford him, again, that opportunity to play, to grow back into his best, we're using West Ham as an example here because West Ham has been linked, but I think there are any number of clubs in the league who would be happy and would be a good fit for Harry Maguire.
Could he not look at a Chris Smalling career path? There's said to be some interest from outside of the Premier League as well. Do you think Harry Maguire could consider going overseas?
I think he'll consider it. I think with the kind of wages that he's on and the kind of money that they would want, where his rep is, I mean, unless he wants to move to Saudi, I think it's going to be very, very difficult. I mean, Smalling was in a different situation. It was obviously a loan at first. I think Smalling's personality as well is different from Harry Maguire's. You know, he really wanted to embrace the opportunity to challenge himself in a different culture. Right now, it seems to be as Stevie described right now, where, you know, he continues to back himself, and, you know, I don't know how you break out of that. You know, even seeing, oh, look, everybody's injured. Oh, look, he'd rather play Luke Shaw at center half than me. You know, at some point, you know, where does this change? And I have to say, I'm at the stage where I actually feel a little bit sorry for him. I just hope he finds some serenity somewhere, because otherwise he's going to be Phil Jones.
Do you feel a bit sorry for him, Stevie? Yeah.
Yeah, but eventually there comes a time where he has to take responsibility for getting out, whether it's cheap wages or whatever. So, and he's reached that point.
All right. Well, more transfer talk over on our website. Be sure to check that out every single day.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN Plus.